Basketball in 2025 has seen the traditional 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 positions shrink down to really only three. Now, there's different roles and there's a lot of overlap, but there are basically three main positions. To use this clip from the Eurobasket final, this right here is Dennis Schroeder. He's your typical point guard. Right here on the inside, that's Daniel Tice. He's your typical center. Over here is Andreas Obst. That's your typical two. Now, he can play some ball screen, but he is the best shooter in Europe if you don't know who that is. This is Franz Wagner, NBA veteran, very, very talented player. Is he a three? Is he a four? Can he play some ball screen? The answer is yes. He can do everything. He has a lot of use on a basketball floor. And the same with this guy, Bonga, who was the MVP of this tournament. Having this type of versatility, especially between your 2, 3, and your four, allows you to generate these type of shots organically without running a set. Here's how high level coaches see the game. We got basically three different positions out there on the floor. We got our playmakers, our utility guys, and our screeners. To break it up in more traditional terminology, ones and twos are your playmakers. These are guys that can play pick and roll who sort of initiate the action. Threes and fours, those are your utility guys. They space the floor, attack closeouts, dangerous in transition, slashers, cutters, all that type of stuff. And then your fives are your bigs who set screens, roll to the basket. So obviously some can stretch the floor, some can play a little bit more low post. Basically, teams are playing with two ball handlers, couple guys to space the floor, and a big man who's setting screens. And of course, if you have some low post capabilities as a three or a four, coach is going to put you down there. If you get busy from the 3 point line as a five man, he's going to run some pick and pops for you. Like, your individual talent can shape how the team will play. But by and large, these are the things coaches want and are looking for. Before we go on, this is the study of hoops, where yes, we study the game of basketball. My name is Mike Carlson. I played 10 years professionally and now I teach the game. I make it simple. So if you want more of this, subscribe because we'll keep it coming. They're going to run a stagger for Obst, who's obviously their best shooter. And this is interesting right here. Little handoff, nothing doing out of this. Ball's going to go back to Obst up top. And instead of playing pick and roll, he gives it right back to Schroeder. He knows his strengths, finds the space, and knocks it down. Here's a nice set. They're going to use a brush screen from Opes to free up Tice. It's going to be a Spanish, but they see the show and they space out quickly. Skip pass to attack a long closeout with their four man. He's going to miss. Bonga's going to get his own rebound and kick it out. And threes after offensive rebounds are lethal. And here you can see, using each player's strengths, they're going to get Franz Wagner with some speed, curling off this, one dribble, right to a finish. That's where he's lethal. Another little set. Fake the handoff with the four, little flare right into a drive. This is the initial advantage. And then they just keep playing and get the slip. This is where there's some overlap between your fours and your fives. So we're at the point in the video where you're clearly saying Dennis Schroeder is playing way more ball screens than Andreas Obst, and that goes against my original theory that teams want two ball handlers on the floor. You're absolutely right. But won't you want Dennis Schroeder playing more ball screens than Andreas Obst? Yes, absolutely. And so this is one of those situations where when you have someone that talented, you can lean towards him and use his playmaking way more than the other person. And so they really have one playmaker and then three utility guys and then one screener out on the floor. But if you go and you watch a lot of U16, U18, and then up until the Euro League, you will see that by and large, they do have two playmakers out there on the floor. And in the case that one of them is way more talented, they will lean towards him and he will play a majority of the pick and rolls. But that is a very good point. I'm glad you brought it up, not me. I didn't bring it up. Let's get back to the video. Off the miss from Osman here, Wagner's going to get the rebound, look to push in transition. He's got nothing. Immediately finds Schroeder, who slows it down. They have great spacing. Kick to Obst, extra pass, three ball. If we break this play down, okay, so you got your main catalyst trailing the play, your point guard and your five. Franz looked to get something in transition, but realized, hey, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys are back. Nothing's going to happen. Let's slow it down a little bit. Now, the one and the five, your playmaker, your screener, they're going to get some action going. Everybody else is going to respect their space and respect the action. And that's really what allows this type of shot to occur. There's so much happening in this possession. I'm going to play it through once and then we'll go back and break everything down. This was a play to get Franz Wagner in isolation after a ghost screen. And the physicality from Turkey and the helps, everything is just fantastic about this, and they force the turnover. Let's go back and look how it starts, okay? First thing is he recognizes it. and he's able to get physical and bump that screen right there. Him beating this screen right here is huge. Now, contact before the screen and look at their coach. He's calling this play out. They have it absolutely 110% scouted. Know they are going to do a little short show and then a recover. All right. And look at the bigs in the paint. They know where the danger is. They know where the threat is. You can see the bigs from Germany are looking to set a secondary screen for Obst if they don't get anything out of this initial ghost action. And Shane Larkin is in perfect position. He has zero help responsibility, which is absolutely fantastic. And the position of the bigs, both of them being in the paint, Sengun talking, saying, hey, you got low, I'll stay high. That's what leads to this. Now, watch number 2. Watch this dig right here because this is so important. On the comeback, he forces the pickup, and that's what forces the turnover. Excellent defense from Turkey on this possession. I want you shooters to watch Andreas Obst right here, okay? This is very, very important. He's going to fake like he's going to go set a back screen, knowing full well that he is going to get a pin down from Daniel Tice. So he goes and fakes. Now, you see this right here? This is so key. Initiates the contact, pushes off. That creates the separation that he needs. You can see it very well from this angle. Fakes, contact, bucket. Another example of overlap between positions. Obst initiates the action, 4-5 stagger screen, 5 rolls. Bonga's wide open. Bang. This is a great clip after this miss because it shows the versatility and how everyone just flows and plays. It's not always 1-5, 1-5. Schroeder finds Wagner in transition. They immediately initiate the action with Obst. He draws 2. They move it twice, attack the long closeout with Bonga. Showtime. This is so difficult to defend because you got to stop the ball in transition, immediately flows into the next action, and you got a guy who knows what he's doing. One dribble, quick pass, move the ball side to side. No chance. As this game winds down, I want to let you guys know that understanding the game of basketball at a high level will help you play better. And I have created a space and a place where you can do exactly that. We focus entirely on game film, and I teach you the things that high level coaches need on their team. And I show you examples so you can apply them into your own game. If that sounds interesting to you, check out the link below. But for now, let's get right back into the video. Germany is going to run the same set again for the Franz Wagner ISO. And this is where having versatile 5s that can stretch the floor is huge. Turkey wanted to defend this with 2 5s in the paint, clogging up the ISO, and that's what frees up Tice. Germany is going to run the same set again, and this is where your individual talent can shine as a player. Turkey does a great job of clogging up Wagner, but now they're going to run the other action, and now Turkey has done their job, but it comes down to one-on-one, and this is where you can get busy. What a finish. This is why Germany is champions. Watch what they do on this possession. They're going to run the high pick and roll with about 8 seconds on the shot clock. Not really going to generate anything out of it between the 1 and the 5, but watch Franz Wagner and Bonga crash in like crazy and get the rebound, and they space it out and they get it back to Schroeder with a mismatch on him out of the offensive rebound. And now cross, bucket. And if you really look at this, I think even if he misses this shot, there's a very good chance Bonga is going to get another offensive rebound and tip it in. That's why they're champions.